Hey, welcome back to another video. Happy to have you here. If this is your first time, welcome. This channel is all about crushing it with merch by Amazon, and I wanted to show you in this video why Q4, quarter four in the year, is the most important time of the year if you're in merch by Amazon, particularly if you're doing organic traffic merch by Amazon, where you're relying on customers who are organically searching keywords on Amazon. They see your product, they buy it, right? If you don't have a brand, if you don't have a following where you're driving your own traffic to Amazon, this is what most of us do, right? We compete with each other to put our shirts in front of customers so that they buy it. Now, I'm going to try to make a case as to why Q4, which is basically October, November, December, is the most important time of the year to be active and working hard on merch by Amazon. All right, let's crack right into it. Then after, I'm going to show you some of the dates during Q4 where I started to see some great increases in sales. Now, let's start with the fact that in Q4 there is an enormous amount of traffic online. A lot of the American consumer demographic is online searching for things. They're either for Halloween costumes, searching for Thanksgiving related items, searching for Christmas gifts. And Christmas is absolutely crazy. You can see 4 to 5 plus your normal monthly income. If you think about that, that's a 500% increase in 1 month, right? So everyone is online, right? And now, what does that mean? It means that you're much more likely to grab a sale. Okay, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll know the importance of intersecting niches with these holidays to boost your chances. But generally, your odds of making sales go up. You know, my brother had less than 25 shirts up. He was in tier 25 and he made $700 in 1 month, right? Just because he was doing that. Imagine if you had 1,000 slots, you know, 4,000, 10,000, goes pretty crazy. So that's the first case. Now the second case is, if you've been on merch by Amazon for a while, you'll know that the algorithm is a little funky sometimes. You'll be putting up thousands of shirts, of new shirts, and some of the old sellers who have been in the space since 2015, since merch opened, they had made better sales back then 2 years ago than they have now, and now they have 10 times more shirts up. So it doesn't make sense sometimes. And I think part of the reason is Amazon really is giving preference to established sellers, whereas last year in 2017 we saw new uploads get a nice BSR boost, which meant that they appeared higher briefly for a few days and then they slowly trickled down, which gave new designs a better chance to sell. But now that's not so much the case these days. So think about it. So next year, the things that will sell will be the ones that pass through Q4, and that's the importance of Q4. We go through Q4 cycles, as I call them. The more Q4 cycles you can go through in merch by Amazon, the more money you're going to make. Why? You're going to sell more units, okay? This is going to give you more sales. It's going to allow you to tier up. Another thing it's going to do is you're more likely to get reviews on your shirts. Reviews have an enormous impact on making a sale. Most shirts do not have reviews. So if you have a review in a niche and all the others don't, the odds that customers are going to pick your shirt skyrocket, right? Of course, you want to balance that with a reasonable price. Don't immediately set your price up to 25 bucks, 27 bucks just because you have a review. Stay within the margin, but you can price slightly above the average now because you have that review, right? Another thing that I've noticed is that the more sales history a shirt has, which means if it's been selling consistently for months or made a few sales in the past, that data is stored. That means that it's more likely to make a sale in the future, right? Shirts which have never sold are not as likely to sell. Shirts which have sold are more likely to sell in the future. So understanding that concept, it means that now we go into Q4 with as many options as we can in the hopes that they will keep selling now the year ahead, because one, you've made more sales, which gives them that sales data. Two, you're getting more reviews on shirts, which adds to that stickiness. And it's so important to build a portfolio of regular sellers that generates cash flow, because that is a sign of a healthy business. If you're just catching one trend, which means you have one, let's say, Christmas themed shirt that just goes absolutely crazy in the Christmas, and you're selling hundreds of shirts a day, right? Just from one, and you have an incredible Q4. What happens when it's January, February, and people are no longer interested in that Christmas design? Do you have enough of an evergreen portfolio, which means shirts that sell year-round, right? General shirts, not holiday themed shirts, that can carry your merch business forward? So that's the key about balancing the two, right? Because on one hand, I hit the holidays hard last year, but on the other hand, I made sure I had a really good spread of normal, regular niches, whether they're animals or hobbies or jobs, right? Family themed shirts. It's important to make that balance, right? So now I'm gonna show you some of the key days that you start to see enormous jumps. And I'm going to jump into November, and what happened last year is I saw some good progression on the months. I think July I made 20 bucks, August I made 800 bucks, September I made 1200, October I made 3000, so you can see the curve, right? And then November I made 12,000. So that's how it jumped, right? And then December I made 14,000, but it was gonna, or 12,000, and I was gonna have a $30,000 month. But as I will show you also, they switch off the tap. Actually, I'll show you right now. If you go here into messages, and it's the interesting thing is back in 2016, the exact same date, the 5th of December, they released this message, which is they suspend your ability to add or edit listings. You can keep uploading in draft, but they will never be published, and you can't touch published listings, which means that if you had a shirt that all of a sudden is selling but is priced at the base price and you don't make any royalties, it's too bad, right? And the other interesting impact of that is last year they had to hide shirts from the website because the demand exceeded their capacity to print. And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen again. Merch by Amazon is an incredibly fast-growing company, but I don't think it's fast enough to meet the consumer demand. And so expect a freeze at the end of this year. Okay, now let's jump into some of my numbers. Of course, I'm going to blur the designs as is custom, but this was Black Friday, if I believe. Yep. This was Black Friday. Is a huge day. It's kind of like the deal saving day. As my first taste of you'll see these cool spikes in sales, right? So this is one day, and the cool thing about this, you see the spread. It's not just one shirt getting lots of trends, right? Although, if you notice, I do have one of these, right? Sold 94 in one day. Let's jump to Cyber Monday. And the thing is, because I'm originally European, I didn't know about Cyber Monday. My boss at the time, I was working at the pizzeria, said, "Oh, great to hear Black Friday went well. How? Just wait till you see Cyber Monday." Because Cyber Monday is an online sale thing, right? Amazon's online. So that, I was like, oh, I wonder if it will exceed Black Friday. I had my doubts. And it did, right? So this is the Monday. One day, right? Pretty amazing. And even more of those shirts, right? And the cool thing is this, now I finally cracked my first $1,000 day. Quick point. I can't guarantee that you're gonna experience the same Q4. I don't know who you are. I don't know how hard you work. I don't know what kind of designs you're putting up, what niches you're getting to, if you're trying to catch the trends. I just don't know who you are. I'm just saying this is the possibility, and there's people who did far more than I did, right? I'm saying this is the possibility of Q4 and why it's so important to get your system ready to go, because this is kind of the stuff that can happen if you've prepared properly and you've done as much as you can. You've designed, you've researched, you've kept watching, training, and you try to get better and better, right? But let's jump into December. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's pretty crazy. Let's do December 4th. One day, right? And the great thing about this is you see that there's a spread. It means I'm not reliant on just one hot shirt, even though I did have one. And I believe that helped boost all the rest, right? Yeah. So yeah, you see some of these shirts do really well. Alright, so anyway, the point of this video is do not underestimate Q4. And while these results were pretty intense for me as well, since I just started that year, I just wanted to show you what is possible with Q4 if you take it seriously, if you get yourself out of the first few tiers. It's not that hard. It's not as hard as you think. If you think I'm still at tier 10, I've been stuck for 2 months, just buy your own shirts. Buy them. Buy your way out of the first few tiers. It's worth it. If you're going to commit to the business, it's not worth it if you upload and then just kind of wait for Amazon to give you sales. You have to work for it. The thing is, a lot of us are victims, and we assume Merch by Amazon will just throw money at us. We're like, I'm in the platform, why am I not making sales? You gotta work. It's not a get rich quick thing, right? Okay, so hopefully that stressed the importance of Q4 in having a big impact on your portfolio for years to come. And the more Q4 cycles you go through, I believe the more money you will make. So thank you very much for watching, and keep crushing it this year. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.